fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Debt is the anti-wealth. I've already given a few speeches on debt and wealth building, all available on our YouTube channel. And the most common question is how? How do I get out of debt? How do I build wealth? How do I coupon? Today, I'll share how we get out of debt. The way out of debt is spend less money than you make and apply the surplus to debt. It's that simple. You can't invest, speculate, or gamble your way out of debt. If you try to speculate and gamble, the odds are against you and you will fail. If you try to invest your way out of debt, the interest cost that you're paying, the inflation, taxes, and the risk cost of borrowed money will eat you alive. All these numbers are in some of my prior speeches, again, on YouTube. If you want to get out of debt, you have to make it your highest priority in life. Some will say, no, God is number one in my life. For some, it's your marriage. For some, it's kids, career. You're going to earn your way out of debt. The facts are, money issues are the #1 cause of divorce. Most Americans increase their spending right along with their income. 43% of Americans spend more than they make. Less than 10% of church-going Christians tithe. Let's give a full 10% of their income to the church. And God is adamantly against debt. It's in his book. Look it up. Debt is choking our marriages, our careers, our faith. Most importantly, it's killing our dreams. That's why I want to share with you my 12-step program to getting out of debt. Please refer to your handouts. This is going to be quick. Don't try to take notes. If there are questions, ask me after the meeting. Step 1, acknowledge debt as your #1 problem. It has to be your #1 problem because step 2 is add no to your vocabulary and use it often. No, we're not spending money, we're in debt. No, we're not going out to eat, we're broke. No, we're not going on vacation, we can't afford it. No, you're not playing golf. No, we're not joining that private club. No, we're not spending money, we're paying off debt. Step 3, stop using credit for your purchases. Credit cards have less ouch factor than debit cards. Debit cards are less ouch factor than checks, and cash has the highest ouch factor when spending money. McDonald's recently started accepting credit cards because they found that their customers purchased almost 50% more when paying with credit over cash. Step 4, put some distance between using credit and you again. Build up a small starter emergency fund. Everyone's situation is different, but about 2% of your gross annual income should be sufficient to get started. Step 5, evaluate where you are. What is your income? What is your debt? How big is your shovel? How deep is your hole? Line up these debts, smallest to largest. Don't worry about interest rate. We're going to pay these debts off so fast, interest rate doesn't matter. And paying off debt, smallest to largest, will give you emotional and psychological milestones that will keep you motivated. Step 6, evaluate your necessities. Food, shelter, utilities. Figure out what these cost you on an annual basis and tighten them down. Personal cell phones, gym memberships, private clubs, these are luxuries and not necessities. Most families can save thousands of dollars by cutting their dining and grocery budgets by 60 to 90%. Ultimately, this is your take no prisoners budget. Step 7, subtract your annual take no prisoners budget from your net income. This is what you have to work with to pay off debt. Step 8, total up your debt that you did in step 5 and divide it by what you have to pay on debt. This is the number of years it's going to take to pay off the debt. If it's less than 2, start with the smallest, putting minimum payments on the others, and get aggressive. If it's over 2, start selling stuff. Find other sources of income. Get on this, lighten the load. Even if you're below 2, get aggressive. I've heard the stories, well, my car is killing me. Sell it. Even if you're in the hole, take a small note on the difference. You're better off being a few $1,000s in debt on the difference than $30,000 for the whole note. You can drive a beater while you clean up your mess. Step 9, if you have a very large debt, like a student loan that didn't fit in to step 8, put it off to step 11. Because step 10 is build up your primary emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of living expenses. The great news is this is a stage that you start building confidence, control. You start to see what's going on. You're turning the financial corner and hitting the highway to wealth. Step 11, if you had a very large debt, get started on it. Be aggressive. I'm sorry, still no life for you. Step 12, now it's just the mortgage. You can lighten up a little. The interest on mortgage with the tax deduction is low enough that you can often outinvest that interest. But you still want to remain aggressive. Get that paid off 7 to 10 years. The good news is you can lighten up a little, breathe, invest, and plan for other events. There's nothing easy about this process. It is hard, it is painful, it is sacrificial, and it is worth it. If you don't do this, one day you're going to wonder, where did the money go? And somebody like me will say, here it is in my account.